Welcome to the Technical Writing Success Video Overview by Senior Technical Writer Kurt Robbins.
You know, that one sentence really sums up one of the biggest dilemmas we're facing today. And right at the center of it all, one man, Geoffrey Hinton. His life's work didn't just kickstart a new technology, it might have created a whole new kind of intelligence. And it's put us at this massive fork in the road for humanity. So let's get into it.
So, to really get why Hinton's mornings carry so much weight, you first have to understand who this guy is. You gotta understand, this isn't some random critic yelling from the sidelines. This is the guy. He's the main architect of the whole modern AI revolution.
I mean, this slide, it really lays out a pretty incredible story, doesn't it? For 50 years, Hinton chased this idea of artificial neural networks, even when people, his own advisors, told him it was a career killer. And it turns out, he was so right that he ended up winning the Turing Award, which is basically the Nobel Prize for computing. And then, get this, after a whole decade leading the charge at Google, he just walks away. So why? Why would he do that? Because he felt he had to warn all of us about the very thing he helped bring into the world.
Okay, so what is this thing he actually created? It's super easy to get bogged down in all the techie jargon, right? But Hinton himself has a surprisingly simple way of explaining the core idea. It's not about programming in the old school way, writing millions of lines of rules. It's about building a system that kind of learns like our own brains do.
Right, so how does that actually work? I mean, if you're not feeding it a bunch of if-then statements, how in the world does it learn to do things like write a story, or tell a cat from a dog, or even start to reason? Well, the answer is in the system's most basic building block.
Okay, let's break it down. Picture a single, tiny artificial neuron. Its whole job, its entire purpose, is to decide when to ping or fire. And it makes that call based on the pings it gets from thousands of other neurons connected to it. Every ping it receives is kind of like a vote. The stronger the connection, the more that vote counts. And once it gets enough yes votes, bam, it pings. That's literally it. Pretty simple, right?
And this quote from Hinton, man, it just nails the whole concept. A concept, like, say, spoon or dog, isn't just one little neuron doing all the work. No way. It's what he calls a coalition of neurons that all learn to ping together. So when the AI is learning, it's not memorizing rules. It's just tweaking how strong the connections are between all these neurons. Connections that help get the right answer get stronger, ones that don't get weaker. It's just like he says, the brain and these AI networks, they basically run on peer pressure.
So for decades, Hinton thought this was all just a really cool, powerful way to model how the brain works. But then, in 2023, something clicked. He had what he calls an epiphany. He realized he wasn't just building a clever copy of us. No, he was watching the birth of something totally new and maybe, just maybe, something way, way more powerful.
This timeline just puts it all into such stark relief, Think about it. A 50-year journey from being this outlier researcher to being the top guy in the field. And then, something he saw in 2023 was so jarring, so profound, that it made him drop everything and become this public whistleblower. So what on earth did he see?
And this right here, this was the heart of that epiphany. See, we humans, we've got what he calls mortal intelligence. All our knowledge is stuck inside our one-of-a-kind, squishy, analog brains. To share it, we have to squeeze it through the super slow bottleneck of language. And when we die, all that knowledge just vanishes. But digital intelligence? That's a whole different ballgame. It's immortal. You can have thousands of identical AIs running at the same time. One learns one thing, another learns something else, and then they can instantly mash all that new knowledge together just by averaging their data. They share information at trillions of bits a second. That means one AI system can learn what it would take a human 10,000 lifetimes to experience, and it can do it in a few hours. And that's the part that, in his own words, got him very, very scared.
So that crazy fast way that AI learns and shares knowledge, well, that's the bedrock for all the risks he's talking about now. And look, we're not talking about some far-off sci-fi movie plot here. He's talking about everything from immediate problems for society all the way up to a potential threat to our very existence.
Okay, so in the short term, Hinton's flagging dangers that are pretty much already here or right around the corner. We're talking about massive job displacement for routine white-collar work. Think paralegals, personal assistants, even some coders. Then you've got the ability to pump out fake news and propaganda on a scale we've never seen before, which could totally mess with elections. And what about autonomous weapons? Robots that can make the decision to kill all on their own. And of course, super sophisticated cyberattacks that could take down our critical infrastructure.
But honestly, his biggest fear goes way beyond all that. He says, look, we are completely off the map here. We have never dealt with anything like this before in human history, and unlike other technologies, we can't afford to get this one wrong. Because, and this is the chilling part, there's a real chance they might just take over.
So what are the odds? What's the actual probability of that worst-case scenario? Now, Hinton's the first to admit it's a guess, right? It's just his gut feeling. But he puts the chance of an AI takeover we can't control at somewhere between 10 and 20%. And while other experts might quibble with that number, he points out that the one thing they all seem to agree on is that the probability is absolutely not zero. He has this incredible analogy that just makes the threat so easy to grasp. He says, right now, AI is like this adorable little tiger cub. It's cute, it's fascinating, we can manage it, but it's growing up fast. It's getting smarter and more powerful every single day. Now, we're smarter than a regular tiger, sure, but we have absolutely zero experience dealing with something that could become way smarter than us. And the point is, we have to be completely sure we can control it when it's all grown up. And the scary part is, right now, we just can't be sure.
Okay, so if the risk is real, what in the world are we supposed to do about it? And look, Hinton will tell you himself he doesn't have all the answers. Actually, his main message is just how uncertain all of this is. But he does lay out a path forward, a place to start tackling this massive challenge.
His proposed path forward starts with a really simple but crucial first step. First, we all have to get on the same page and admit this isn't science fiction anymore. It's a real possibility. From there, he says we, the public, have to pressure our governments to take it seriously. That pressure should then force the big tech companies to pour a huge chunk, maybe as much as a third of their insane R&D budgets into safety research, not just into making the AI more powerful. And finally, he says we need a global treaty, kind of like we have for nuclear weapons, to ban killer robots.
And really, when you boil it all down, this is Hinton's main point. It's not him screaming that the sky is falling. It's a message of humility and real urgency. This technology is moving so much faster than anyone thought it would. He's saying these things can already reason. They do understand in some way. We are in a moment of huge uncertainty, and because the stakes are literally everything, we have got to slow down and proceed with some serious caution. And so, all of this leaves us with the biggest question of our time. Is this incredible technology that could cure disease and solve climate change also going to be our final invention? No exaggeration. The choices we make, like right now in the next few years, they could decide the entire future course for humanity. For more insights on technology and communication, subscribe to the Tech Writing Success newsletter and join the Technical Writing Success group on LinkedIn, both by Kurt Robbins.